Okay, so it's still pretty dead out there, guys. The SPY chop continues. There are opportunities, but again, one of the things I think I'm best at is doing nothing unless and until I have a setup, a proven setup, and then I'll put some money to work. So, I got a private message from a guy in the chat room today talking about some guru out there. I'm not going to name anybody, but how he has these wild swings with SPY and IWM puts and calls, or like he has 20, 30, $30,000 swings. And I'm just going to say, my answer to this guy, the only reason some of these guys that they tell you that you can swing trade part-time and make a killing and blah, 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 the only reason these guys take these huge bets is because when they do pay off, they get to put out a little commercial and say, and they get to show their profit and loss. Look, I made $70,000 today. And you've heard me say it a million times. They're putting out the image that you're going to get rich doing this stuff. And day trading is actually a career, man. It takes work. You've got to know what you're doing. So if you're checking your phone for an email or a text to find out whether or not your guru just sold XYZ at 280, and then when you look at XYZ and you try to get out and it's at 220, right? Because he tanked it just by selling it and putting it out to his subscribers. That's not trading, and honestly, you're just guessing. And if you get away with it, you're really still not learning anything. I'm a big fan of making the decision. If you watched our webinar the other night, if not, it's recorded. I'm a big fan of making the decision to say, you know what, I want to be a day trader, and that's what I did. That's what I did. So you've watched the webinar. If you don't already know, you'll learn what I went through to become a day trader. But I made a decision that it would be a fantastic career, and by the way, I was right. But it doesn't come by trying to blindly follow someone, especially if you're trying to get text alerts, text alerts and email alerts, and follow somebody who buys and sells and then alerts his members that he bought and sold. And you're probably going to get eaten alive. And I remind you that the only reason these guys put out these huge risky trades or take them is so they can get the occasional huge win and then post it, right? But if somebody's losing $20,000, $30,000 on a clip, and they say they're up 100 or 200,000 on the year, man, they're risking way too much. But they're looking to get that big ad that, look what I did today, to draw people in. To me, it's borderline criminal. But anyway, I guess what I would say is, why not maybe consider joining a group of traders that actually start each day with a watch list, like PIXY was on watch. Yeah, you saw the video last night, right? It was overdone to the downside. Well, today it gapped up. Looked like this. Wayne was on the mic and said, hey guys, this is a nice, narrow, defined range. If this takes out the high of day, I'm getting long. He said it when it looked like this, actually, somewhere in here, right? So you had plenty of time to know that 471 is the trigger, that Wayne is going to take it, and there's the trigger, and then it runs all the way to 540. You're never underwater, okay? Why not follow a logical setup, a logical trade like that? I called the same thing with another thing from our list, another stock, MULE. Look at the daily. This was on watch today. Remember, I said this is a new IPO, a recent IPO that's way overdone to the downside. Look at it. Look at the candle today. How did I call it? Pretty similar to what Wayne called. It had an early run and then put in this nice consolidation, nice clearly defined range. My idea was over the high of day, 2023. Stop below 20. And boom. So it went up to 2140-ish. So why not, again, learn some setups. Follow some people that will actually teach you to trade. Make a commitment versus trying to follow someone who's tweeting, texting, taking IWM puts and calls and making or losing 100 grand at a time. That's not trading. It's just plumb stupid, for lack of a better term. It's not a very professional term, but anyway. So anyway, back to the SPY, just a sideways chop fest. So here is the watch list that I have for tomorrow. I'm just going to keep VSTM on watch because it's just a sideways chop. But over that range, I think it could pop. It had a huge move back here. So until it breaks this range one way or the other, I'll just keep watching it. CERS, this thing seems like you had a nice volume pop here, and it's sideways and some nice volume the last couple days again. It sure looks like it could break out of this range one of these days. I think they might have had earnings after the bell. and it doesn't look like it's really doing anything. So we'll watch it tomorrow, but keep that in mind. I'm not in love with it because of that. GoPro, kind of an interesting chart anyway. The extra volume in this range, but the reason it's really on the chart or on the watch list is because it's popping in after hours on earnings. As I'm talking, and it's an hour and 40 into the extended hours session, GoPro is trading at $9.30. Let's see what this high right here. This high was $9.18, so it's trading right about here. So we'll see if we can get a gap and go set up in that one tomorrow. CSTM, big spike today. See the big volume. Talking about a possible buyout, or they're going to consider a possible buyout, and you can see this big volume spike it got. Then it came back in a little bit. So, you know what? Over the recent highs, over 9 or something, it might just break out. Definitely want to watch it. AAOI. Well, if you're not around in after hours, this thing closed at 97.99. As I'm talking, it's trading at 71.40. It actually went down. Man, I don't have it in front of me, but it went down, I don't know, $66, something like that. And again, right now it's trading at 71.40. So I want to watch this gap down and see if it gets scooped up. It might give us a nice long setup. We'll see. I generally don't play big gaps down, but there's no way I'm not going to watch that one tomorrow because it is crazy. I tried to catch an after hours trade in it, and I just didn't get filled on my bid. But it moved up. As a matter of fact, one of my bids, it missed by like 18 cents, and it ended up going up $3 or $4 after that. But I only trade, if I trade after hours, I only trade like 100 or 200 shares, but still would have been a nice little trade. Anyway, we're going to watch that one tomorrow. PACB. Nice break out of this tight range today on volume. We'll look for a continuation in that one tomorrow. Fitbit gapped up on earnings and closed pretty strong, so we'll see if it can break out above that $6 area tomorrow. Snap, big volume today, kind of a bottoming tail. It's sitting basically at all-time lows. This one might, because of the volume today, might continue tomorrow. Certainly not a bullish chart. And then CRUS, actually I'm going to bring over a small daily chart that I have the 200-day on, and you can see it's fallen. After gapping up, it's fallen 2 straight days and actually closed below the 200-day. But it's fallen pretty far to get there, so I'm looking for a potential snapback bounce in CRUS tomorrow. And that's it. It's, again, not a big list. I can't find much right now because the market's just so choppy. But on an intraday basis, there's news plays, there's intraday reversal plays, and we're still finding stuff to trade, like I just showed you that PIXY and MULE. Also going to watch that XXII tomorrow. Did take a trade in it today. It didn't really follow through. I still made a few $100s on it, I think. Got long right here on this volume spike, 97, 98 cents, and it got to 205. It certainly looks good if it can get over this recent high of 207, but it also looks kind of extended, so keep that in mind. Probably needs to consolidate still. There it is on 60-minute candles, so we'll see. A lot of good news coming out of this company lately, so we'll keep our eyes on that one too. All right, enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see everybody tomorrow.